Jasas.
Hola.
Vítejte. SYNAPSES Academy.
Welcome to the SYNAPSES Academy Podcast, a podcast in which experts from various fields provide their tips on sustainability citizenship in education, professional development, continuous learning, and external community building. You've heard previous guests mention these many times. You may be motivated, but financial reasons may hold you back. Here, the European Union might come to the rescue. Did you know that they provide funds for exactly these purposes? Today we will discuss the so-called Key Action 1 or KA1 funding and how you increase your chances to obtain it. Hello and welcome in this podcast. Today we'll be discussing funding for international exchanges of knowledge for education professionals. I will be introducing our guest for today, Nikos Zygouritsas.
Yes, perfect.
Am I saying that correctly? From Greece.
Yep.
Welcome. Nikos is a project manager and a researcher who's been working on European projects for the past 20 years. And now for the last 10, he's been working at the Greek private school Elina Germaniki Agogi. Nikos, before we move on, what makes you a specialist in the funding schemes from the European Commission for education?
First of all, thank you for the invitation to participate in this podcast. We have been working for years now in supporting schools and teachers, networks of schools and networks of teachers around Europe to seek for professional development programs. And we have all been organizing summer schools with different themes. For example, open schooling, digital skills for teachers, sustainability, sustainable development, science in education. And we have been organizing teacher training programs, but also supporting teachers throughout the circle of finding opportunities and submitting proposals for these funding opportunities.
So let's start with that basic premise. We've got teachers, school leaders throughout Europe who want to learn, who want to develop themselves professionally, and ideally with colleagues throughout the EU. And what we hear from all schools and all school leaders throughout Europe is that there's already a lack of budget. So that's our starting point. The EU wants to stimulate, I think, this exchange.
Yes.
How do they do that?
There are two main needs throughout any country in Europe nowadays. The need for teachers for new knowledge, for new methodologies, for exchanging ideas, and then supporting networks of teachers and networks of schools is very, very important. And on the other hand, funding opportunities and budget issues are a well-known problem throughout Europe. So what the European Commission has done, the European Union, is the Erasmus Plus program. It has been going on for a lot of years. It is the European Union program for education, training, youth and sport. A new generation of Erasmus Plus has been launched in 2021, which is actively running. And it brings exciting new features, including mobility opportunities for pupils, but also for school staff. And I think this is the part of the Erasmus Plus that really is the interesting part for school staff, teachers, and school heads for our discussion.
I see. And what is this called, this new stream?
It's the Erasmus Plus for school education that we are focusing on. And it offers a range of opportunities for pupils, teachers, and other education staff to improve their knowledge, skills, and competencies. And it offers schools and other organizations the possibility to cooperate with partners in different countries and become more open, more dynamic, more innovative, and find solutions in common projects and thoughts. We have been working, as I said, with thousands of schools and teachers around Europe, but the basic needs of the everyday school life in teachers are common throughout the different countries. It is very interesting to see, for example, we have been working with the schools for open schooling, and we have seen that without knowing what teachers in Ireland or in Spain or Greece are planning, the common needs of the schools of working with the local community or working with a local university and things like that are common issues throughout Europe. And, it is a really important solution to find ways to enhance this networking with funding opportunities from the European Commission.
I see. I know I'm following you completely. This is indeed something I hear a lot as well. And so what would, if you make use of this funding, what would that look like, or what forms can it take?
So first of all, it's important to say that organizations, schools for our discussion that apply for Erasmus Plus project must come from one of the 27 European member states, but also one of the countries fully associated for the program. For example, Iceland, Liechtenstein, Northern Macedonia, Norway, Serbia, and Turkey. So schools from these countries are welcome to submit a proposal. We need to understand that are different key action categories in Erasmus+. We have the key action 1, which is learning mobility for individuals. And I think for our discussion today, it is K action 1, which is learning mobility for individuals.
For individuals, right? Yeah.
So pupils or teachers or school staff, school heads that want to have found, let's say, a training course in another country, and they want to travel for 2 to 9 days to get professional development plan. This is the perfect key action for them. Then we have key action 2, which are more elaborated, let's say, projects, cooperation among organizations and institutions, where we have cooperation partnerships, small-scale partnerships, and Erasmus teacher academies, which are big European projects with a distinct thematic area supporting teachers throughout Europe. And then we have the Jean Monnet actions, which are Jean Monnet teacher training, learning initiatives, Jean Monnet networks. And last, but of course not least, we have the KA3 action, which are more not national. These applications are not on the national agency, but on the European level, and are more, let's say, complicated subjects for the school.
Okay, so for now we can,
I would suggest that we discuss the KA1 action, the learning mobility for individuals, which is much more interesting for schools and teachers.
And we can just say for context that probably if you're listening to this podcast, for our listeners, SYNAPSES, SYNAPSES is a teacher academy. Mm-hmm. So that's probably how you know this podcast as well. So today we're going to talk through how you can actually get the funding to get to a summer school that we're organizing, or get funding for other training activities, for example, for SYNAPSES, or for the many, many other projects that are going on continuously. So then how do you go about it? If you are a teacher, or if you are a school leader and you want professional development on the subject of, well, let's to stick with the subject for sustainability, how you can become more sustainable in your teaching, in the way you've arranged your school. Sure, you've decided you want to go to SYNAPSES. What steps do you have to take?
So before that, let's say that the key action one. It's also for pupils' mobility, but let's focus on staff mobility. That means job shadowing, that we can organize teachers from one school go to another school to staff members, let's say, can have a practical learning experience by following the daily work of their peers in another country.
Right.
There are teaching assignments. Teachers can spend a period teaching abroad, learning the different practices and gaining a broader perspective. But what is very interesting, it is the courses and training. So participants can attend courses and training abroad to develop their skills and knowledge and then apply them on the sending organizations. So in the, let's say in the school education gateway, the platform organized by the European Commission, but
Let's repeat that one. The school
education gateway,
right? Yeah,
and it's the dedicated portal that the European Commission posts courses and news and resources and everything. Their schools around Europe can find a course that is of the interest of them, and they want to participate. There are a lot of courses organized throughout Europe. For example, the SYNAPSES Summer School, which is organized in cooperation with the European School Innovation Academy. So let's take things first. Submitting a proposal, which is the key point of getting the fund, requires let's say, a self-reflection exercise from the part of the schools and the teachers in understanding what are their needs. Let's say we need to define the objectives of the project. Equally important aspect of this project is what happens next.
Okay.
It shouldn't stay with the 6 teachers going abroad. It is multiplying the effect by coming back and sharing the knowledge, not only with the teachers inside the schools, but with other teachers, and continuing this collaboration. What's very interesting, we have seen in a lot of cases that teachers participating in this kind of courses establish collaborations with other teachers and other schools that go on for the next years. And this is always very important to see, and it is what we live to support, let's say. What I really want to make known, let's say, sorry for that, is that applying for a K1, it is a really life-changing experience for teachers that want to take the next step.
You know what? I actually already heard some about some in the grapevine. So yes, yeah. So maybe yeah.
Sorry. There is a procedure to follow.
Yes.
Keep in mind that usually the deadline for submitting a proposal is end of February each year. So for the school heads and teachers listening to our podcast, maybe they are intrigued to attend next year's summer school. And they have the time to prepare themselves. I'm sure on the website you will have more information and links and everything. So they can submit a proposal until the normally end of February, 20th February, something like that. The national agencies at the European Commission are always very eager to inform participants. And the school, if they are not already registered on the platform, they need to register. There is the organizations in the dedicated Erasmus Plus portal. They need to check what are every year they have the objectives of the project. I will come of the Erasmus Plus program. I will come back to that. Then they will see that there is a application form that it is filled in online. They fill it in the application form, which is, let's say, a school developer plan. What are our needs? What we want to do? In which training programs we want to participate, and how we will share this knowledge, and of course respect the deadline and submit the proposal. They will be notified after 2 months, probably, from the national agency. As I said, there are every year there are different themes that are more pushed, let's say, from the commission. That this year that we need to support teachers in open schooling, for example, or in sustainability and the new Bauhaus movement in schooling and things like that. We need to keep in mind that what is always very important is there are some Erasmus Plus priorities that are key ingredients for any project proposal. This is inclusion and diversity. The Erasmus Plus is designed to be inclusive and to open equal opportunities to everyone. Then we have environmental sustainability, very important to I hope it is not too late for a planet, but at least let's do something now. Then we have participation, active participation of schools and teachers and pupils in democratic life, and digital education, which is, of course, very important throughout Europe.
And ever evolving, Okay, so these are key elements that you can apply for.
It's it's like a success cheat sheet that it is very important to address these issues.
Nikos, these are the insider tips that we need in here. Thank you very much. So we'll post the link to the website where you can apply in the show notes. We'll also put them on the SYNAPSES website. They're probably on the EACEA website as well.
Of course, yeah.
Of course. Nikos, is there any final word that you would like to share with the podcast?
Yes, I would like to urge teachers and school heads to take any funding opportunity they can achieve, because it is really something very important for their everyday school life. It is very important that they are active in teacher training, in school networks, because you sharing common fears and ideas and resources, it is always fruitful for our job as educators. And I'm sure that through the SYNAPSES website, teachers will get information and webinars and podcasts to help them in submitting a proposal. Absolutely.
Now, Nikos, there's one question that I've asked all my guests here, and I've not prepared you for it, but if there's one thing that you do or that you would like to imply in your life that you would advise all the listeners here to improve your sustainable living, environmental sustainable living, what would that be?
My motto of life is always try to be nice, never fail to be kind to the planet, to the society, to everyone.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. I did not expect that today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And to our listeners, see you next time. You were listening to an episode of the SYNAPSES Academy Podcast. For more information about SYNAPSES or to learn more about our speakers, please look up the links in the show notes. This production was funded by the European Union and produced by the European Schoolheads Association. Views and opinions expressed are, however, those of the consortium only and do not necessarily reflect those of the European Union. Neither the European Union nor the granting authority can be held responsible for them.